Well, Jake Shimabukuro, I cannot be happier to welcome you for the fourth time. In fact, I'll stand up and do this.
Oh,
Aloha and welcome back to Living on Music, Jake.
aloha. Great to see you again. Thanks for always being so supportive and you always make time, for us and
Oh,
for every project and really appreciate it, man. Thanks
well,
for that you do.
my pleasure, Jake. Making time for you has been a joy since the beginning, and it continues to go on. The last time we talked was, I think, probably about six or eight, probably like last year after Grateful came out, which
Mhm.
I love that record, and before that, that amazing Jake and Friends record in 2021. So you've been continuing to surge along, and then boom, what do I hear about a few months ago is blues experience with this drummer that I think some people might have known. And a guy that you've known for a while, Mick Fleetwood, and you've got blues experience. Is that due out? That's due out in about a month, right?
Yep, October 18th, I believe it's coming out. So very excited
Yes.
about it. Yep.
I bet on 40 Below Records. And the fact that, you were able to finally team up with Mick on a record. I know you've done stuff with him before, a number of things that we'll talk about. I know that that has been something. Give me a little bit about blues experience. I know that you've said you've always wanted to do a blues record. Tell me why that came to be, and then how this came to be with Mick. I know again you've met him, but talk a little bit about the blues love of Jake.
Oh man. Well, of course I've always been a fan of Fleetwood Mac and Mick Fleetwood's drumming is so iconic.
Yeah.
Um, so unique and he really pioneered that style of blues drumming because
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac was they started out as a blues band, right,
Oh, totally. And he
with
was in
Peter Green.
he was in with John Mayall,
Yeah,
for that run too. So he was really in a blues run, and then Fleetwood Mac became a little bit more rock, obviously rock pop sounding. But yeah,
yeah. So and then of course Mick Fleetwood has been living on Maui
yeah,
for 20 plus years. He's just been supporting the community out there, and
oh,
he's always like bringing musicians together, for collaboration.
right,
So yeah, so this actually happened pretty quick. Of course, we met briefly here and there, but it was really in probably in like the last 2 years.
right.
We had attended their we went to see them their Fleetwood Mac reunion concert, and I got to talk with Mick backstage, and then fast forward like another 8 or 9 months after that, we did a show in Maui. Mick happened to be in town, and he came out to the show, and then we talked again, and that's when we really kind of solidified, the idea of getting into the studio and just kind of seeing what happens, and so we went over to his home studio, on Maui in Kula, and everything. We picked a bunch of songs, and it was just very experimental, off the cuff. We just thought we'd go in and we would just jam and just play live and record it like it's a live performance, just for ourselves. And
Yeah.
it was such an inspiring experience, man. I was completely just blown away. I still can't believe that, we had that opportunity.
Oh, I can't. I think it's so fabulous that you bonded with so many other people in your career, especially on Jake and Friends, which was another way to really, kind of immerse yourself in some of these incredible people that you are becoming one of these incredible people and already are. But I love the list of on the record. I mean, I was looking. I've listened to Rollin' and Tumblin', which was, I guess, the first song that you released from the record,
Yeah, that was the first single. Yeah.
and Whiter Shade of Pale. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I sing that in one of my fun little cover bands for the last 20 years, and
Oh,
it's one of my favorite songs. And to hear you guys do that together, it's just again, I love the fact that you talk about him with his energy being so infectious.
hmm hmm
How does that breed into somebody like you and other musicians that he plays with?
Yeah, I mean, he just produces so much energy, in the room. Like when he plays, he just elevates everyone around him.
Oh,
He inspires you to play better. He brings out the best in you, or the best out of you, I should say.
right.
Um, and it's just an incredible experience to play next to him, to play with him. And, and he's very interactive, right? So like when
Right.
he plays, he's listening and he's feeling, he's taking you to places, it's like he just it was amazing to watch him.
Yeah, you talked about his facial expressions and his movements behind the drums, which I've noticed just as a fan of Fleetwood Mac and as a music journalist, just watching him play whenever I could. But you're right, he does have a real sense of something that just exudes out to people, and that must have been really exciting to play with. You did Lahaina with him, right? And the Doobie Brothers song?
Oh yes, the Lahaina song. Yep, that.
Lahaina. Yes, the Lahaina song, which I played right before we connected today. I played Lahaina again, and I remember when that came out, and I was like, wow, that's pretty incredible. But I love the fact that you wanted to kind of again get some blues into your soul, and really you've picked an incredible experience. They're talking a little bit about it. You've got Jackson Waldorf, and that is that your bassist right now?
Yes, so we're on tour together right now. Mhm.
And then the keyboard player Michael Grande.
Yeah, Michael Grande,
Yes, and that's great.
longtime friend of mine, great keyboard player, great producer.
Oh, and you did Rockin' in the Free World.
Mhm.
I, I mean I saw the set list and I'm like, what? I mean, just incredible. And then I see Songbird is on there. And is that what Christy McVie sang with the Fleetwood Mac? That Songbird?
Yes, and that one, that was one that was so special in the studio, because um I just remember, I mean, it was, we kind of talked about the form and what we are gonna do, and Mick just launched into this hypnotic drum groove,
Oh,
and he just closed his eyes and he just started playing this groove, and we just kind of settled into this. It was a very I started with the ukulele, just kind of the melody, kind of like a tremolo thing, and it is very like almost you can't even feel where the one is,
oh,
in the groove. I mean, it was just so, I don't know, or organic, and then at some point, the keyboards and the piano. I mean, the piano and the bass just came in, and
oh,
everything just kind of synced up,
oh,
and it was just like the music played itself.
oh.
And then when we were done, Mick was just he was still in his groove. I mean, it was just so chilling, and then he just kind of, and then when he stopped, it was just silence in the studio for a good 10, 15 seconds, and then
Oh,
he opened his eyes, and he told us, he said he felt Christine's presence when
oh
we
my God.
were recording that. I mean, it was just
That just gave me goosebumps.
so, yeah. It was,
Oh,
it was an incredible moment, and I don't know, I'll never forget that. Yeah.
well, that's what a beautiful story that is. And there is also a version of him doing a spoken word of the song.
Yeah, yeah, he recited. So that part was an overdub.
Right.
He had the idea to do, her words, right, to include her words, and with his voice, oh man, that is so powerful.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
spectacular. He must be still hurting to with the loss of Christine McVie because she was something
Oh,
else. Very special. And again, it looks like Fleetwood Mac is probably done, but you never know with bands. The Who's had 10 farewell tours and the Stones and everybody. So you never know what's going to happen with them. You have some other songs, Jake, on this record. Is Need Your Love So Bad? Is that the Allman Brothers song? Or is that another
no,
song?
well, I believe Peter Green first recorded that, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
see, so
So
that could be the
that is
same
a
one.
Fleetwood Mac. That is a Fleetwood Mac too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's fantastic that you guys did that. Whiter shade of pale. I want to get funky. Still got the blues, which I love doing. You met Mick back in the 1990s, right? When a young Jake met Mick at the Hawaiian Music Awards, right?
Yeah, it was the Nahoku Hano Hano Awards, and I got to meet him backstage. It was real brief, and I don't even think I could get any words out of me. I was so starstruck. But yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. I remember Mick Fleetwood was there, Kenny Loggins was there.
Yes.
I got to meet both of them, and it was just an incredible night.
Oh, did you perform at those awards?
I did, yeah. So I did actually get to play with them on stage, but I was just kind of in the back, it was I mean, I was just so starstruck.
Oh,
But
I
but
bet.
now to come full circle like this, man, this was like a total full circle moment for me. It's been such a blessing, and I'm just so grateful, for Mick's support, and of course, as you know, on the Friends record, I got to do something with Kenny Loggins too,
Yeah.
so it completely, it's a complete 360 moment.
Oh,
So yeah.
no,
Oh, and I did want to mention that that Lahaina tune, man. Wow, the Doobie Brothers, man, what a song. And I've just been a huge, huge, huge fan of their music as well. And so that was very special to be a part of that
right.
that
And
that track.
A beautiful dream I'm trying to remember. Underneath the banyan tree, our love will live forever. Spirits everywhere, they whisper in the wind. Waves that kiss the shore at night are calling us again. It calls to me, Lahaina, carry me back home. It's calling me, Lahaina, carry me home, where I belong, where I belong. Deep roots of the banyan tree.
again, and before the show, I showed you this picture, which was the last
Yeah.
time. I'm over here in the corner with my partner Suzanne. Now, I was going to tell you that Suzanne leaves on Monday, coming up for Maui.
Oh, wow.
She's going to visit her wonderful daughter Karina and husband Brady and Carter and Collins, the two youngsters. And Karina is about to have her third child in December.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
Suzanne, I usually go with her, and I said this time I'll stay home. I've got some gigs and some things doing here, and I'll take care of our dog. And you go, and I'll go the next time when I see the third of her grandchildren. But again, such an amazing experience. I wanted to mention one other quick thing too. That Suzanne and I have our duo called the Greek and the Freak. Played for the last 4 years, and it's actually going skyrocketing and having a blast. And she just started playing the ukulele.
Oh, that is awesome. All
Yes,
right.
she had picked up the acoustic guitar about 4 years ago because I had to sing. It was in the pandemic, and I had to keep singing because I was a singer in
Mhm.
bands. And she said, I'll pick up a guitar. I've never played, and she's a strummer, and she does a wonderful job, but has always wanted to go down the trail of the ukulele. And so now that I've talked to you, it's going to be an inspiration again for her to grab it. Do you have any things to tell her, or one thing to tell her when she's starting to play the ukulele that'll help her?
Oh, I don't know. Just have fun with it. I
Right.
mean, that's the best part. There's no wrong way to play it. I mean,
Right.
I'm so happy to hear that though. That's amazing.
It's
But
really fun.
if she ever needs help, getting one made in Hawaii, let me know, man. Give me a
Yes.
call.
Remember we went to that store, that ukulele store that one time, and it was just
Yeah,
astounding
right. Yeah.
the level of ukulele in that store itself, and it was it was your home ground. What else is going on for Jake? What do you think? Is there anything you have in your kind of in your spectrum over the next maybe year or so, or are you just going to continue and see where things go?
Yeah, well, we're getting ready to release this record, and
Yep.
we have a whole holiday tour coming up. From from October, November, December, we'll be touring pretty heavily. And we're actually back in the studio again, working on 2 new projects. So
Oh,
very, very excited about those as well. Like, yeah.
well, I got to tell you, I'm congratulating you again on what seems like a fabulous achievement by Jake Shimabukuro. You've just continued to, you've been on a wonderful role in your career for a long time, but it seems even in the last 3 years with the Jake and Friends, the Grateful, and now again Blues Experience, you must feel really, really happy about where things are going, Jake.
Oh yeah, no, I just I'm so thankful for our for the team that I have, that just believes in me and provides all these opportunities and just supports me, because I love it. I mean, for me, it's just I'm just a lifelong learner of this instrument and of music, and I I enjoy every moment of it. I don't take it for granted, and and all these experiences, that I get to have, I wouldn't have it if my mom never introduced me to the ukulele, when I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
I'm just so grateful. I never thought, the music would open so many doors. And you hear so many musicians say that, right? It was music that connected them, with all kinds of experiences. And that's why, like, I always, at the beginning of every show, I always thank the audience, for supporting the arts, for supporting live music, because as you and I know, there's nothing like it. I mean, it just brings the community together.
Totally.
It inspires, it makes us feel, human, makes us feel connected, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Oh, spectacular. I love when I love hearing that. And again, it would be remiss if I didn't ask how your family is. Didn't Chase just turn 12?
Yeah, my oldest son just turned 12. He's playing the ukulele too.
I
Yeah,
was gonna I was gonna
playing.
ask, has he picked when did he pick it up for the first time? When he was 4?
Oh, probably when I think I put one on. When he couldn't even sit up yet, I think I used to put one on his chest and just strum the strings. So I thought the vibrations would maybe,
Oh,
inspired him. Yeah.
spectacular. And I'm glad. I mean, again, everybody Blues Experience, October 18th through 40 Below Records, Jake Shimabukuro and Mick Fleetwood. And then you also had Sonny Landreth. Didn't he play on it?
Yeah. So we did a cover of Jeff Beck's
Yes.
"Cause We've Ended as Lovers," and I had met Sonny Landreth through Jimmy Buffett, when I used to tour with Jimmy and the Core Reefer Band. So Jimmy and Mac McAnally introduced me to Sonny, and I've always been a huge fan of Sonny's playing, and he's just the most incredible guy. But man, when he plays, it's just out of this world. But we were having a conversation one day about how Jeff Beck was such an incredible influence, and so when we got together to do some live shows together, we actually played "Cause We've Ended as Lovers" as a duo.
Right.
And so when this opportunity came up, and we were talking to Mick Fleetwood about songs, we started talking about Jeff Beck, and I told him, we do this. I just did this thing with Sonny Landreth. We did "Cause We've Ended as Lovers," and he goes, "We should record that." So we ended up recording that, and that is the only song we recorded it, as a 4-piece. But then Sonny couldn't come to Maui during that session, so that's the only part where we had to overdub his part in there. He wasn't there live with us.
Right.
But everything else was recorded live. But still, even, I mean, if you listen to it, it's like he was there in the studio with us. His playing is just outrageous, man. It is so good.
Well,
So good. Every note just hits me right here.
I can't wait to listen to it all. Sonny's playing actually here in the DC region. I think soon at the Barnes or Wolf Trap. And I know you just played the Birchmere, didn't you?
Yeah, we were just a few days ago. Yeah,
I know, and
I love that place.
I had a gig. I was singing at a Beatles tribute at the Bethesda Theater, which was one of the greatest experiences of my entire life, let alone only 20 years of singing. And it was mind blowing, not only with a huge crowd and everybody really into it, but also just to be able to play 50 Beatles songs I
50
sang,
Beatles tunes.
yes,
Wow.
and
Man.
I sang 10 of them. Here Comes the Sun, Revolution, Penny Lane. You know it, and it was just such a great experience. And then I knew a long time ago that not only on that weekend was Bruce Springsteen playing at Nationals Park here that I couldn't see, but Jake was playing at the Birchmere around that time, and we had a rehearsal. And I'm like, but anyway, everybody, again, it's Blues Experience, October 18th. Jake, you know, is going to be. I think this is going to be another incredible moment for you to see what people do to embrace this record. And I just want to say thank you again for doing Living on Music.
Oh, thank you very much for your support. Always a pleasure, always a joy, and yeah, yeah. I hope people enjoy this one. It's such a unlikely, you know, combination of collaboration, but man, I just I'm yeah, just blown away, and it was such an honor, and I
Oh,
for people to hear it. So
I love that. And the last thing, I love the being hailed as the Jimi Hendrix of the ukulele. And
oh
if you would ever hear you play the level of this, and you know everybody loves everything you do with the ukulele, and to hear you do this kind of stuff too is just another, you know, kind of, you know, definite thing to show how amazing you are at what you're doing. Congratulations, Jake.
thank you, thank
Let's
you.
keep in
Hey,
close. Let's keep in close touch.
hey, quick. I don't know if I shared this with you last time, but did you know that Jimi Hendrix, his first instrument was the ukulele?
Oh, I don't know if I
Did I
knew
tell you
that.
that? So
Oh,
yeah, I think when he was just a kid, his dad or something found an ukulele like at a garage sale or something and brought it home for him. And that's what he started, you know, like playing. And that's why his dad, I read that his dad got him a guitar because he saw he took such an interest in playing the ukulele.
oh
Isn't
my
that crazy? What
God,
a story, right?
that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And so that's amazing that he of all people would start on what you have really taken over as the best ever. And I just love every minute of it. And you know, as Suzanne continues to learn on her early days, we will be thinking of you. And again, Blues Experience is going to be a wonderful experience to see. And again, I wish you and your family and your musical world nothing but the best.
Thank you very much. Tell Suzanne I said have a safe trip and have a great time on Maui, and congratulations to you and your family and everything. And hope we get to play some Beatles together.
Yes, well, we'll keep in close touch and we'll do this again.
All
Thanks,
right.
man.
Thank you. All right. Take care. Aloha.